Comedy Journal Jack, week 39. I can't believe how quick I'm doing them this time. I know it's still a month behind, but I'm just talking about how quickly I'm recording one after another. Just because, why am I just babbling? I'll tell you what, for the week of the 39th week of the journal, I don't actually have any particular incidences recorded as I have normally. I know you're rejoicing right now and like, oh, it's so boring the way he does it. I only watch it because I'm his friend anyway. Except for you, you know who you are. Just like listening to my voice to fall asleep to. This was an interesting incident I found rather entertaining, and I hope that I can portray it the same way, or in a way to where you find it as entertaining as well, especially since it's been almost a month since it happened. Now that I've downplayed it so much that you're not anticipating anything of any value, allow me to tell you about this one time when I followed a delivery guy from okay, so here's how it went. I left the shop, I went down the street, and I passed this place that sells cookies and delivers them. And just before I got to there, one of their delivery guys came out, and so he was in front of me, went down a few blocks, he made a left turn. I was making that same left turn. And then went a little bit, he made a right turn. I was making that same right turn. And then he made a left turn into this, to go behind this building, which had apartments in it, and the parking lot was in the back, and apparently the main entrance was in the front. Well, I went and parked next to that building because as I had quickly read the Google Maps, I thought that my building was the one right next to there, and I jumped over the fence there and went to that porch, and I saw that was not the correct address. I actually was going to the same building he was. So I got back in my car, continued on back that drive, and parked near the door where he had all nicely parked into a space, all proper and everything, and he was actually walking out to the front. So when I saw him going to the front, I thought, am I going to have to go to the front? Well, I recognized this building. I know I had gone to the back door before, and it was plain and clear and easy to access just as the front was. So I called the customer because there were not buses working in there, and I had to call her in order to get her to come down. She came down, seemed a little hesitant on the phone, like, oh, yeah, I'll tell you, I'm at the back door. You can come there, right? She's like, yeah, okay. She comes down. She sees the cookie guy at the front door, me at the back door, looks back and forth for a second, and then comes over to me. Well, my door actually had a sign on it that said emergency exit, but it was only for like constructional purposes. They were doing a little work on there, but you could easily go in and out of it, and it didn't have an alarm on it or anything like that. I knew that. I could tell it was totally not rigged. She was hesitant about it. I said, you can open it though, right? Like, you can let me in here. And she opened it up and let me in. Meanwhile, the cookie guy is just standing there watching this whole thing, wondering when his customer is going to come. And she fills out the information. She's paid with a credit card and put me a tip on there, and also gave me a cash tip bonus. And then she tells me, she's like, yeah, that guy, I'm his customer too. Like, I thought that was hilarious. So he's sitting there. He was there first. He has left the building first. I didn't even get to the right building. And he's waiting there for her. She totally all gets done with me and everything. And then, so she goes to get her cookies. I go back to my car, I fill out the information about how much I got and everything. I track my tips, I know exactly how much I make every night and all that. Finally turn around in my car and get going. And when I'm finally exiting, he's finally actually getting to his car and leaving again. I just felt like the superior delivery guy at the time, which technically kind of wasn't because he partly helped me find my spot. Anyway, if you followed that whole story, bravo, congratulations. If you're still awake especially, I appreciate you even more so than I already have. Right? Anyway, so this week, from the lips of the starving comedian, what did the movies Titanic and The Sixth Sense have in common? Icy, dead people.